Hello, hello, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Hearts Are with Hads. We are week two. We are consistent AF, but no, really, I'm feeling a major shift in a lot of aspects of my life, and I'm really freaking proud of myself. And the one thing about that is people think that once something has changed or like, oh my gosh, they're starting to feel good, then they revert back to their old habits. When it's like, no, you have to sit in the shit and you just have to keep on keeping on. You got to keep doing it. Even though it feels good, you can't just quit everything just because of it. That's like people, they start to feel good, they start to lose weight, they're hitting their macros, they're going to the gym, and then as soon as they hit their goal of like, oh my gosh, I lost my 50 pounds, then they stop everything. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. You have to maintain that. And so that's where I'm at this point where I've been consistent. July 1st, I was like, all right, Hadley, you've got to make a change. So made a change and I'm feeling so much better. That change has been, for one, I've done meditation every single day, which I talked about this in my last episode. For two, I've prioritized my boundaries, and past 7 p.m., I'm checked out. I'm not trying to do anything related to my business. I'm just big chilling. I'm watching TV. And recently, I've been watching Sullivan's Crossing. I have watched so many shows since I've been doing this, which has honestly made me feel pretty good, pretty chill. Just like, okay, I can chill. So I've watched the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders. I've watched Sirens. I'm watching Sullivan's Crossing right now. I've watched The Hunting Wives, which was so raunchy. Not raunchy, but they showed so much boobs, ass and titties. No, I'm not even playing either. So that was like crazy. I wasn't expecting that, but it's like one of those shows that you can't stop watching. So I watched it in over the weekend and I finished it. Anywho, that's not the point. The point is I'm doing more things that are chill and not beating myself up for doing things like that. Where in the past I'd be like, no Netflix, work, grind, hustle. And the thing is like that just gets so freaking monotonous and boring and you overwork yourself, and that's what I did. So it really was dumb and had no purpose. So I'm feeling a lot better. Like this past week has been so incredibly amazing, and I've slept good. I've recovered from the gym. My HRV has been up. Like I just feel like a whole new woman, and I think a lot of that goes back to I've been waking up at the same time every day. 6:30 a.m., my alarm goes off. I do not try to sleep in. And it's really hard because Brock's schedule is different than mine. And so when we first moved, I would, snooze it and like try to sleep when he did so that we were up at the same times and yada, yada, yada. And now I feel so much more grounded that I'm waking up before him. I wake up at 6:30. I'm like half awake. I'm like, go get the dogs up. I'm like trying to wake up, but first thing we do is go outside and I immediately wake up. Like I'm like, okay, cool. This is good. This is setting my day on the right foot and I feel amazing. I get my heart rate up a little bit. I try to go at a faster pace than like a regular walk that I would do. So about like 120, 130 beats per minute. If it's hot in the morning, I will get up to like 130, 140. But recently since we've had some rain, it hasn't been as hot. I already know tomorrow's gonna be hot. Today we have like a heat advisory, and I have not been outside since this morning, except I let the boys to go out. And oh my gosh, they were both rolling around so much in the grass. They're both so itchy, and I'm like, oh, I could go on a rabbit hole about dogs and why they're itchy, but like furniture, they put like flame retardant on furniture that's actually endocrine disrupting not only for humans but for dogs as well. Like flame retardants, the stain retardants, all of that stuff seeps into your skin, seeps into the dog's skin, and that's kind of why they have a lot of allergies. I think most dogs have a lot of allergies just because of the environmental stuff, like just because or the same way that we have issues with things, I think dogs do as well. So I should go down a rabbit hole of vet stuff, like holistic vet stuff. I really should because my dogs eat the farmer's dog. My dog's already a little bit unhealthy. He was just born that way. We have Frenchies, so they're not the healthiest dogs, but I do think it would be really helpful if I looked into more holistic dog things, like how I can properly detox them. They eat really well. We give them natural treats. They get a lot of sun, they get a lot of walking. They do a lot of the same things that I do as a human, but just maybe some supplements that I can give them. I was having steel on these like this dog supplements that the vet gave him. The vet I take him to is a holistic vet. So cool. Love that. It is a little bit more expensive. They do have a chiropractor there, and he has intervertebral disc syndrome. So his back like arches and like this, not in a good way. And so I think he's been having some back problems, just making him feel not good. But they're just itchy, rolling around in the grass. And like I said, I think it has a lot to do with the environmental stuff and things that are in the house. But even outside grass, they had to fertilize that grass to make it green and not have weeds and shit. So who knows? There's nothing good. Which brings me kind of to the topic of the episode is I've been reading this book called Outlive, and right now we're going through the big five, like the biggest killers in the United States. And the first one was cardiovascular disease. The second one, which I just finished, was cancer. And that one was like very sickening to me. And there was a lot of points in there that I was like, ugh. But basically, you can help cancer by getting your blood sugar under control, like insulin resistance and metabolic dysfunction. A lot of the book talks a lot about metabolic disease. And metabolic disease is basically like, even if you were to eat 1,000 calories or like severely calorie deficit, your body would still not lose weight. And that's because our bodies are just very, not everybody, but the majority of the population is very poor at detoxing. We don't have enough nutrients in our body. We're not getting enough sun. Like there's so many things that are causing this metabolic mayhem, dysfunction because processed food, alcohol, environmental toxins, everything. So, that's why, obviously, I love my job because we focus a lot on detoxifying the liver, but also getting your body to a healthy weight. So, I don't think a lot of people realize, but if you're physically fat on the outside, your internal organs are suffering. I literally don't care if you're like, oh, I feel good. No, you don't. You're lying to yourself. If you are overweight, if you are obese, there's internal fat going on surrounding your liver, surrounding organs in your body that you don't even know. And I know your blood work's off. I know it is. I know you have insulin resistance. I know you have issues. If you're overweight, you have blood sugar imbalance, and you also probably have a little bit of high blood pressure. You probably have your liver enzymes are probably a little bit elevated because you probably have a little bit of fatty liver disease. There's the list could go on. So basically, what I'm trying to get at here is we can, not to say like is preventable. Cardiovascular disease is more preventable than cancer because cancer, there's no like real reason for why it attacks the body. My hypothesis, and I'm not a doctor or anything, is if there's something in the body that's not working properly, like say your digestion's off, so colon cancer, for example. I'm just going to throw this out there because this is what my dad suffered from. I know his digestion was off, like he was constipated, but I also know that he was not getting enough fiber in his diet. I also know he was eating for breakfast. He would get like a breakfast pizza for lunch. He would eat Wendy's for dinner. He would have whatever my mom made. It could be spaghetti, it could be mac and cheese, it could be cereal, it could be chips and dip. Like I just know that the diet was so very processed. And I think this has a ton to do with why people build up cancer cells inside of their body. And so that alcohol, stress, poor sleep, they're all cascades of each other. So I just love talking about this because it gets me fired up. Anyways, the cardiovascular disease that can be prevented. Cardiovascular disease can be prevented getting your blood pressure under control, getting your blood sugar under control, making sure that you're being healthy cardiovascular wise, making sure that you're getting your heart rate up when you are exercising, making sure that you are incorporating things like fish oil, EPA, DHA into your diet. This is really, really important. This is like a natural, holistic way to help bring your blood pressure, blood pressure down, just bringing overall inflammation down inside of your body. But you're also going to bring overall inflammation down inside of your body by eating whole nutrient dense foods, by cutting out processed foods, by stopping going out to eat 3 to 4 to 5, however many times a week you go. Stop doing that. stop doing that. I go out once a week and have a matcha once a week out, and that's it. And everything else I eat and make at home. And if the majority of the population just did that, they'd feel so much better. And you cannot tell me this is a budget issue because people are going out and they're spending money on DoorDash and they're going to eat at Popeyes and whatever. Popeyes was just the first thing that popped in my head because I drove by it today. And anyways, the thing is you don't realize how much that stuff adds up. Like if you were to go to Popeyes and get a meal for your whole family, it would be like what, $30, $40. That's that's one whole meal for $40. Whenever you could have 6, 7, 8 meals for that much throughout your week. It's just like it's not adding up to me. It's not making sense as to why people make excuses for expenses whenever in reality they just don't know what they're doing. But I understand that this is also a mindset crisis because people think in their head that like they're just like this is just how they are and that they can't change, or if they try to change then they just fall back. And we need to wake up because people need to mentally make the change. People need to get strong in the mind, and that's why I love gym fitness culture because that teaches people so much mental resilience that had, for example, me, had I not gotten into that, had I not done competitive sports growing up, had I not had wins and losses, I don't think I ever would have been in this place. Maybe I would have because my parents were very, 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 very competitive and driven. But I I love discipline. Like if somebody is disciplined, that says a lot about who they are as a person. If you can look at somebody and they go to the gym consistently and they eat good meals and they hit their macros and they're eating healthy and all the things, you can't tell me that you don't envy them. I envy the people that have what I don't have. And this isn't coming from like a comparison type of way. This is coming from a place of holy shit, they were disciplined, they did the work, they stuck it out. Like you should be so incredibly intrigued with people like that that you should want to be like them. You should want to do that. But this goes back to not everyone has the drive to do that. And I get that, but I do. And so that's why I'm very passionate about health, fitness, the things that I do, because really, if you can build the foundation of that, the trajectory of your life will change. I'm not even kidding. Had I not gone into fitness, into bodybuilding, I don't think I would have had the courage, the mental capacity to take on owning a business at 22 years old because I don't know many people that do that. I don't know many people that take a chance on themselves, be willing to do the shit day in and day out, even when they're not seeing the progress happen. That's the same thing that goes for fitness. You got to be in there doing the dang thing day in and day out, even when you don't see the muscles, even when you don't see the weight come off, even when your hormones don't fix like that. It's just not how it works. And so I love the mental component that you get whenever you do start to go lift in the gym and you start to prioritize your health because it is simply unmatched. Now, I know I went off on a tangent there, but that's what I wanted this episode to be like, and I want the rest of the trajectory of my podcast to go. It's just like things that I've come up with, things with that I've thought of on my weeks throughout either talking to my clients or talking to people out in general. Like there's just so many things that I encounter throughout the week that I want to talk about. Another thing too that I want to start is writing down, or I guess I can just start with my podcast, like cool shit I did or cool things that I loved that happened to me throughout the week. So things that I did or things that happened to me. So sorry, I feel like I had to burp. No, maybe not. So this past week, I'll just start with yesterday. Yesterday, literally sat out in the sun, tanned for 4 hours straight. It was more like 3 hours, and then we got super hot, and then we went under the cabana. But it was nice because I got to go with one of my friends that I don't get to see a lot, and I love that. And it made me just feel good, just to be like swimming and actually enjoying my summer and realizing that I don't have to stay inside and be working, and there's just more to life than just always having to have a big goal. Obviously, I always have a big goal. Like, I'm always going to have a huge goal. and it's always going to be in the back of my mind. But at the same time, like, I should be able to go out and enjoy things. And so, same with you. That was cool. That was fun for me. What else? And then the day before that, I also tanned, but I went by myself and I took two of my books. And for a whole hour straight, I read that book that I'm talking about, Outlive. And I read that whole cancer chapter and then part of the cardiovascular disease chapter. And this goes back to like the cancer one made me sick because obviously my dad died of colon cancer. But like I said, obviously that one goes back to digestion. And I'm just going to keep going on little tangents because I know that I was talking about digestion. Oh my gosh, my head itches. My glasses are itching me. I know that I was talking about digestion, but obviously your colon is part of your stomach. And so if something's off there, and obviously I feel like it's going to build up there and then it spreads to other organs. Cancer just metastasizes. I don't know the exact word, but they kept doing it or they kept throwing it in there. But I feel like it starts in one singular spot that your body has been dealing with some issues in, and then it travels. And so I'll be anxious to see as I get older if that happens to me. Now, I don't want it to, obviously, like I want to prevent that, doing everything that I can to keep my body healthy, but I'll just be anxious to see. And then cardiovascular disease, obviously managing stress. I know we talked about this, but those two were really cool episodes. And then I went and got groceries and I loved that. Friday, I'm trying to think Friday what I did. I don't know, but I just like the main big things that I did. Tuesday, coffee shop, my favorite coffee shop ever, Aroma. Love, love, love. 12 out of 10. It's like a Christian place, Christian coffee place too, but their matcha, that's my favorite matcha in town by far, hands down. I love that place. And too bad it's on the west side, so it takes like 25 minutes for me to get there, or else I would go there frequently. But it just doesn't really align. So, but I try to go there every so often because I do love it. Anyways, what else? I'm just really proud of myself for really sticking to everything that I said I was going to do and just having fun with it. Like, I recently structured my training days to be on my days where I don't work as much. So Monday, I do a lot of work because I like getting a lot of stuff done on Monday. So recently, I haven't been training the past 2 weeks. Haven't trained on a Monday, and it feels nice to go into the weekend like hit hard with work. And then I have gone Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I'm recovering well. I'm feeling well. I'm sleeping better, and another thing that's helped me with that too is I've been going like super early in the morning and I'll do a protein shake before I go. Protein shake, half a banana, kind of just depends on what I'm feeling for the day. But eating with an hour of waking, like this is so huge. Not fasting. It sets my metabolism up really, really good for the day. And also like that's good for adrenal, cortisol, all the things. But I really did want to talk about one thing on here is women who are experiencing constant bloating and fatigue and can't lose weight, and then they decide to restrict their food, and then it just causes a cascade of problems. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm on my period, and I'm bloated, and I can't sleep, and I have no energy, and I'm trying to get pregnant. And so then you're like, oh, let me just try to eat super healthy. And then you eat as little as possible. You skip breakfast, and it's just like this cascade of events. When reality is, if you just did like these 5 simple things, you'd feel so much better. First thing I already mentioned, eat within an hour of waking, even if it's something small, even if it's a protein shake. I would rather you do a protein shake than nothing at all. And make sure it's good quality ingredients. I like the brand that I've been getting is Just Ingredients, and it's literally has great just ingredients. It tells you there's no gums or like added fillers, anything like that. It doesn't make my stomach hurt, even though it's a whey isolate, it still doesn't make my stomach hurt. And then eat every 3 to 4 hours. Make sure every single meal has a carb, a protein, a fat. And if you need help with that, I've put many different things on my Instagram, all sorts of things out there for you to incorporate and look at. What else? Making sure that you're getting outside throughout the day, that you're walking, you're moving after your meals. I just posted a thing about this, but an object in motion stays in motion, the object in rest stays at rest. If you're constantly resting, yeah, you're going to feel tired because you're sitting all the time. But if you get up and you move, you're going to naturally get more energy, get more momentum because you are moving. So hopefully those little tips help you, but also just drinking a lot of water, not overdoing it on the caffeine, especially not on an empty stomach. Everyone's like, oh, Alana News, like I have a lot of very high achieving women that I coach, and drinking caffeine causes burnout like no other. I remember whenever I was in a really big calorie deficit when I wasn't in prep, and I was drinking so much caffeine, and I was constantly tired even after the caffeine. I was like, "Oh my gosh, dead. You just feel dead all the time." So, your adrenals probably need some time to chill out. You need to eat real food. You can't say you eat healthy if this is what your meals look like. You skip breakfast because you think that's discipline. So you fast, and then your lunch is cheese and some pepperoni and a little cracker and an apple, and you're like, "Oh, that's really healthy." And then your dinner, you have maybe like chicken, rice, veggies, and you're not eating enough. Like, you're not getting enough nutrients. And then, oh, you have an Alani Nu, and do you think that you're eating healthy because you skipped breakfast and your lunch was 300 calories and your dinner was either a really low calorie dinner or low calorie and then you binge and so you go over your calories? There's really no in between on those. Anyways, if you're doing any of that, you need real structured meals, and this is exactly what I help my clients do. So, shameless plug here, but I think women often think that because they feel like crap, they need to restrict more, when in reality, your body just needs more rest, more nourishment, more play, less restriction, more fueling your body properly, more just getting in your feminine energy, which is play and going outside and not constantly being like work, dinner, gym, crash. Like, no, 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 no. That's gonna make you feel so bad. Take my advice on this, please, because I've been through it. People think that just because I'm a coach doesn't means that I don't go through it, when in reality I go through it with you. We are all women. We are all living on this earth. This is all our first time living on this earth. And yeah, I know how to fix the things, but that doesn't mean that all the time I'm going to uphold my boundaries and stop working when I have to and all the things. So there's seasons for everything. And right now I'm in a season where I'm feeling really good, and I want to keep this and I want to maintain this. And yeah. Hope you guys enjoy this episode. Kind of just went on a little bit of tangent of just things I'm feeling, like trends I'm seeing within clients or people that aren't my clients necessarily. But also going to plug here, I'm starting a 30-day August challenge where I'm literally giving you the simple tools to just start building good habits towards a healthier lifestyle. And a lot of the women in there have lost anywhere from 3 to 10 pounds in a 4 week span. And it's really incredible to see because they're just consistently eating, they're consistently hitting macros and macros that fit their goals. They're training 3 times a week, dumbbell only. They're going on walks, getting in water, and they're seeing amazing progress. Like, they're just doing the daily habits. They're not just looking for one quick fix to solve everything. They're doing the little mini little things that are going to get them towards that goal, even if they're not seeing it happen instantly. So if you're interested in that, DM me and I'd love to have you sign up. You'll get accountability from me. You get a really great deal of resources, and you'll have the resources forever. It's a really good opportunity if you're wanting coaching, but you just kind of want to like get a feel for what it's like, or you just want to build good habits. You literally don't know where to start. This is a really good option for you. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.